Today would be Sunday, November 2nd, 2019. Third, sorry. And the story is called Self-Satisfaction versus Gifts. We all have our reasons why we're here in this world. Some go off to college and get a degree. Some get a job after high school. And some only focus upon themselves to be happy. We can all agree that it doesn't make us happy if we are doing something that is beneficial for us. But those are sometimes when it takes a huge drop in negativity that can affect all of us, all of our lives. I was recently involved in one of those drops. When I graduated high school, I was going back and forth about what I wanted to pursue in college. This happens to a lot of people, but mine was different than most. I decided to pursue a degree in business because I didn't have traffic-wise, if you want to call it that, ideas for road travelers. But I took a large turn from that because I was focusing on freedom, short road travels, and just kind of enjoying life in a small city outside of a acre-wise city 4 times bigger. The small city is Las Cruces, and the other is El Paso, Texas. Little did I know that I was falling into a trap that got deeper as life went on. I was having too much fun with freedom, and that it got me to avoid college. I always had this fear of asking for help because I thought I would get jeered by other classmates. Kids, if you don't know what that means making fun of. Because I had that fear, I thought I was on my own to fix the mistakes I was making. Even though that was a factor for me getting behind, something felt empty in my soul. Was it because I was pursuing something that was not my game? Or was it because I turned away from wanting to be a nurse? These things were going back and forth into something confusing. On a bigger note though, I noticed that the transportation in Las Cruces was falling deep into the cracks. I came up with some ideas for Roadrunner Transit, but I never presented those ideas to them. I found out that the ideas would benefit me because of the adjustments I had for transit, but I didn't know about everyone else. This was turning into a pickle. In April of the week after spring break, my student ID would not let me back into the dorms. I talked with them, and they said that because I was no longer in class, I had to move out. They gave me 3 days to pack up, which I was able to do so on time. I moved back to my hometown that I grew up in and just started to find some kind of answer on what I was going to do. DVR was the group that covered my college expenses, but I was tempted to go off on a big spending spree throughout the time I was there. I spent almost $14,000 during the time I was there, even on fast food runs. Before going off to college, however, my grandmother told me about Job Corps. About 2 months ago, I was searching through VeggieTales countertop scenes, and I found something that made me realize where I made the mistake. Those words are...
Let's see if Cordy has a verse for us. For we are God's workmanship, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. Ephesians 2:10. So God made us and gave us our special gifts and talents so we could do good works for others. Isn't that right, Bob?
Huh? Oh, right, Larry. Lots of people just use their special gifts for themselves, to make money or to get rich or famous. Helping ourselves might make us feel good for a while, but it doesn't last. Happiness that lasts is called joy, and it comes from using our gifts the way God intended, from seeing the difference we can make to the people around us.
After hearing that, I realized where I made a mistake. When I was a junior in high school, I took a certified nursing assistant class. When we had our 2-day hands-on experience at the Veterans Home in TRC, I found out I liked what I was doing there. About 5 months ago, I looked at the Job Corps website. One of their courses it was for clinical medical assistant, and I just fell in love with the course title and description. It was the job I wanted to pursue, but I never realized it all these 2.5 years between the class and leaving college. You see, God doesn't want us to focus on our self-satisfaction. He wants us to focus on our talents, what our talents are, and whether or not we like them. When I went off to college, I didn't even realize if I was doing the right thing. However, I did have my experience with being on my own. The other problem I had was because I had single occupancy room, I just didn't have the right kind of self-motivation. We thought single occupancy would help with my autism, but it wasn't a good idea to do so. My father went to military school and was always having someone right there next to him to keep on task. After that, he pursued something college-related that was supposed to be done in 1.5 years. He did it in 6 months. So, one thing that I will also do is try to get tutoring help, because my father had the same thing done to him. I will have someone stand right next to me and make sure they know that I've gotten the assignments done. This is the end of a story between self-satisfactions versus gifts. Thank you.